What we are doing today is protecting the integrity of the court. Sandra, this is unprecedented to have a leak like this of a draft document. The confidentiality of the justices to work with one another, to send documents back and forth, to have the discussions and conversations that they need to have, whether it is in-person conversations or written conversations, for someone to betray the trust that has been placed in them to support the work of the Supreme Court of the United States. This is unprecedented, and Chief Justice Roberts is correct in having this investigated. I understand that the Marshal of the court has indeed initiated that investigation, and I think in short order we will know who did this. They should be punished to the full extent allowable.
That was Tennessee Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn blasting an anonymous leaker who this week released a draft Supreme Court decision revealing the Republican Party's efforts to undermine abortion rights in America. Blackburn was furious. At everyone, really. Liberals, Democrats, unknown socialists, Antifa. Even though Blackburn herself admits she doesn't actually know who leaked the document.
Senator, I want to jump to call for number 3 here for the control room, because here's a statement that came from the Supreme Court, which prefaced the statement from John Roberts. They said, although the document described in yesterday's reports is authentic, it does not represent a decision by the court or the final position of any member on the issues in the case. So it's widely posited that this came from the liberal side of the court, that maybe a clerk from the liberal side of the court leaked this, or someone else. But what about the idea that potentially it came from the conservative side of the court to try to lock in the votes that appeared to be there in February? Because if any of the justices were tagged as reversing their vote on the conservative side when the final opinion comes out, they could be open for a lot of criticism. Could this potentially come from the conservative side of the court?
Whether it came from the left or the right, it is wrong. And this is why the individual who did this, for whatever reason, it is inappropriate to campaign to the Supreme Court. It is inappropriate for these left of center groups who have put millions of dollars into this latest round of nomination for a Supreme Court seat. It is wrong for them to be politicizing the court. And of course, these left of center dark money groups, Arabella Group, Demand Justice, have been incredibly active in trying to push the court one direction or another.
But Blackburn's relationship with American institutions is complicated, to say the least. In 2020, she cast doubt on the integrity of the election.
I think the president, if every legal vote is counted, the process is followed, transparency is provided, I think that the president will end up winning.
Ultimately saying that she couldn't, in good conscience, certify Joe Biden's presidential victory. And she isn't alone. Many of the Republicans who are outraged at the attack on institutions represented by the Supreme Court leak were among those who either actively cheerled or refused to condemn the insurrection on January 6th. So much for institutions. As you've probably caught on by now, Republicans don't care about institutions. They do care about electing Republicans. That's why Marsha Blackburn, Mitch McConnell, and the entire Republican Party have avoided even discussing the substance of this massive overturn of abortion rights. For Republicans, the less Americans talk about abortion, the better. A new Washington Post ABC News poll shows that Americans support keeping Roe v. Wade in place by a 2-to-1 margin. And more interestingly, a majority of Americans in red states didn't even know that their Republican legislatures had acted to make their abortion laws more restrictive. When they found out, voters said they disagreed. The last thing Republicans want is a discourse about abortion rights in the middle of a midterm election. By giving Republicans a free pass to avoid talking about what this Supreme Court decision actually means for American women, Democrats are allowing Republicans to once again hide the most monstrous, awful parts of their policies from the American people. This goes far beyond simply banning abortion. Now that Republicans are on the verge of winning, they've revealed their true goal: a war on privacy rights itself. Contraception, gay marriage, transgender rights, even the right of a woman to travel freely around the country as she chooses to obtain the medical care she wants. All of these are up for debate, all of these are on the ballot, and judging by the silence from many Democratic leaders, voters are left to wonder whether this is truly a priority for the Biden administration. Republicans' newfound passion for protecting American democracy is, just like right-wing comedy, a list of bad jokes. No one takes Republicans seriously, and they can't be trusted to tell us the truth. Unfortunately, the mainstream media also can't be trusted to ask the tough questions that lead us to the truth. The problem is even worse in the Democratic Party, where despite abortion being under immediate and serious threat, many in party leadership can't bring themselves to say or write the word abortion in public, including the President of the United States. But that doesn't mean Republicans should be allowed to walk free as they expand this massive war on women's rights and on privacy more broadly. So the next time a Republican tells you how outraged you should be that a Supreme Court document was leaked to the public, ask them where they were on January 6th.